Was Five Nights at Freddy's better before Steel Wool? That is the question I'm going to be answering in my own way today, because ever since the release of Secret of the Mimic, I've heard a lot of people saying that Five Nights at Freddy's was better back then. So let's take a little dive into it, shall we? So let's set the scene. The year is 2014. Yeah, FNAF has been around that long. Five Nights at Freddy's was Scott Cawthon's last-ditch effort to make a successful game, and he did it. Five Nights at Freddy's was a major success, gaining millions of views online, and this led Scott to making more games, continuing the series up until Ultimate Custom Night. After that, Scott brought in Steel Wool Studios to help with Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, the first FNAF VR game, and they have helped with every game to date except Into the Pit, I believe. So why do people seem to enjoy the older games over the newer ones? Let's talk about that. So let's look at the first 4 games. So FNAF 1 is very simple. You got lights, doors, and cameras, and that is it. You have to survive with no movement and manage your resources well. In FNAF 2, you don't even get doors, but you get a mask, and for the most part, it is a simple game. In FNAF 3, it switches it up a bit more. Your only defense is an audio lure to lure Springtrap away, but once again, very simple game. And in FNAF 4, you get your ears and doors to defend yourself and a flashlight for Freddy. So you would have heard me mention a word a few times during this, and that word is simple. Something a lot of people liked about the older games is they were simple. There wasn't a lot going on gameplay wise. It was a simple loop of check and defend, and you would react to what was happening then and there. Something else I've heard a lot about the older games is the story and how simple it used to be. The purple guy killed some kids and put them in the costumes, and now they want revenge. But now we got Edwin, Fiona, David, and Vanny. I'm gonna be real, I haven't actually kept up with the story, so this complaint I can't really say much about. So could the reason people enjoy the older games be because of nostalgia? Maybe. But before we jump to conclusions, let's take a look at some of the Steel Wool games, starting with Help Wanted. Help Wanted is basically a mini-game simulator in Five Nights at Freddy's, based on the first 5 main games, being FNAF 1, 2, 3, 4, and Sister Location, with tons of minigames and things to do. It's a 3D game that can be played in VR or flat screen, so it's not too different from the normal FNAF. However, this changes massively when we look at 2 other games made by Steel Wool, being Security Breach and Secret of the Mimic. Now, these 2 games completely change how FNAF is played. There is no office section, really. Security Breach had a couple which were close, but no real office sections to be seen. And we also no longer stay 5 nights, it's just 1 now. And this has been a complaint I've seen a few times, that isn't 5 nights. However, that is just a brand name at this point. But if you look at these 2 games, what do you notice? They are both free roam. There is no more sitting in an office and reacting to threats. You now go to the threats. And this changes the style of FNAF a lot. And I believe this could be one of the reasons why people like the older games more. So, why do people prefer the older games? I now have a few possible answers. 1. Nostalgia. With how long Five Nights at Freddy's has been around, some people have probably become really attached to the older games without realizing, or they know. And when they compare the newer games to the old ones they hold near to their hearts, it just doesn't hit the same. Answer 2 is the games have changed a lot since the franchise started, and some people don't like change. So when their favorite franchise changed so much in just a few years, it was probably a lot for them to take in. Like, let's look at FNAF 1 again really quickly, and then look at Secret of the Mimic. They are so different from each other, so it's understandable that some people won't like it, and that's okay. Everyone has different tastes in gaming. And if you're wondering about my opinions on the before and after Steel Wool debate, personally, I prefer the Steel Wool games because they are just more my type of game. The free roam is just my style. I prefer being able to explore over being stuck in an office. Now, personally, I don't think there is a bad FNAF game out there. but everyone has their preferences. And with that all said, I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya!